look at, I mean, if we were to draw a pie chart of what it is that's confronting you, what are the 3 or 4 biggest slices of the pie there?
So that's also a great question. So it's municipal spending around 5. Our budget, let's
21, 22?
Let's put 20.
Okay.
Because I think it's a round number. So let's figure ballpark $5 billion go to the municipalities.
Right. Okay.
$5 billion go to pay down debt.
Right.
$5 billion goes to provide services to the people of our, and then $5 billion goes to run the state. So you got to pick those pies and figure out which one you're going to spend less of. We found out really quickly that cutting municipalities wasn't going to happen. We just never get the votes for it.
Well, the reason for that is if you cut me at the municipal level, I'm going to raise my taxes to make up the revenue flow.
So part of the reason we got hit with the 2 largest tax increases was because we refused to do it. We could have cut municipal spending, but we would have been right back to it.
Right.
Cutting services provided to the residents. Let's talk one specific program that made headlines last time. It was the Medicare Savings Program.
Right.
It's a program that gives money to seniors in the state of Connecticut to help them purchase their insurance and other things. We fund it at 211% of the federal poverty line. Other states are 100%. So we said, well, wait a minute, let's just drop it down. Let's go to 120%. We then heard from almost 200,000 folks that were being thrown off the MSAP program of how they would have to pick between medications and foods. You know the stories. I mean, they're heart-wrenching stories.
I understand.
So we went back up to 211% of the poverty. We said we can't make that cut no matter what money we're going to save. The debt is the debt. You can restructure it and you can do things, but that debt's still going to exist. So what do? We put in a cap that limits the governor's ability to bond. Not just Dan Malloy, it'll be good for Ned Lamont and whoever follows. We also did what our predecessors did not. We initiated a revenue cap to where when new revenue comes in that wasn't anticipated, we had it last year with the repatriatization money coming back in, that has to go to pay down long-term debt. That's a positive.
That's the law?
That's the law now. And we did something that nobody else did. We actually passed the constitutional spending cap that people like you voted for in 1992 that never was enacted. So we're taking the steps, but does that change the $20 billion problem right now? No. So we're going to have to work at it, and we have to change the way we're doing business. But
you know what, Joe? I mean, you're really doing a really good job of explaining the circumstances that we're in. And I know I'm poking and probing at this thing, but you know what, Joe? It's that old business about, in the final analysis, when you're doing structural change, and I don't mean to sound harsh about this, you can't avoid hurting somebody or something somewhere. You just can't have it both ways when you're bleeding to death, and that's what's happening. Joe, I got to tell you, anecdotally, I have a place in Florida. When I go down there, up to 2 years ago, the reason where people were going to beautiful Vero Beach was because the sun was out all the time, right? Starting 2 years ago, I was meeting all sorts of people down there from Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, et cetera. Hi, how you doing? What are you doing here? You got to be kidding me.
So do you know, though, in last year's budget, we also moved forward with exempting Social Security and pensions on your state income tax? Folks don't even know that. I was out on the campaign trail talking to folks. They're like, taxes are so high. And I said, no, I hear you, but we're taking steps, especially for those of you that are retired. I'm not pointing at you saying you're retired, but yeah, your Social Security starting next year is exempt from Connecticut state income tax. Your pension by 2024 will be fully exempt. We're going to percentage our way into it because you're right. We were losing those folks that called Connecticut their home. So that if you really dig into last year's budget, and it was lost in the white noise of the campaign cycle, right? They're terrible, we're terrible.
It's true.
But there was a lot of things in that budget that people like you and I have wanted for many years. And we did it in a way that's never been done before in the state of Connecticut. We removed the governor from the budget process. I reached across the party lines and said, Republicans, come in the room. Let's figure this out together. And we have a lot of those initiatives.
Yeah, I remember all the names he called you guys for doing that, too.
Yeah, well, you know.
I understand that. That's part of that territory.
So we are going to get there. Is it going to come overnight? No. Is there still more work to do? Yes. We're 12,000 state employees less than we were in 2008. We've now changed the benefits of state employees to where their pensions are very similar now to what happens in the private sector. The pension spiking with the overtime, you can't do it anymore. It's 25 years basis of your years, so you can't just kill yourself the last 3 years
Yeah, I
and
know.
boost your pension. So that's gone.